Well, let's say they continue. Let's say the elite are successful. What is the end game goal? What is China trying to achieve? Is this just to grow their economy and be a good part of the world, or do they have more nefarious plans?
Yeah, and if you notice, I say Chinese Communist Party because we have to separate China, the Chinese people, and the Chinese Communist Party, and really deal with the Chinese Communist Party as the leaders of China. And it's really a small cadre of those Chinese communist leaders that run the entire country. And so typically when we talk about China, and we're talking about them in these nefarious terms, we're talking about the Chinese Communist Party. And so their essential goal is to stay in control. In order to do that, they need to keep the population in line. One of the ways they do that is to continue to have their economy continue to grow. It's almost like a shark swimming in the ocean. It has to keep swimming in order to survive. Their economy has to keep growing for the Communist Party to stay in control. Now, their economy has grown at unprecedented levels the last 3 decades. Never a slowdown or a recession, because essentially it's a predatory or a parasitic economy on the rest of the open economies of the world.
So what does that mean for ordinary Americans? Let's say China left unchecked 20 years from now, what does it look like?
Well, so let's look at what it does today. So Roy Jones, I talk about him a lot. He was a mid-level employee of Marriott Corporation, worked in Omaha, Nebraska, liked to tweet about Tibet, and essentially the Chinese Communist Party called up Marriott Corporation and said, fire the guy. And so here is an American executing its right to free speech, working in a U.S. corporation, and is fired at the behest of the Chinese Communist Party because they didn't like the fact that he liked the tweet. That's a very clumsy example of what China is currently doing to automate social control in their own country. They use the social credit score, which is a score that essentially characterizes you as an individual. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you jaywalk? Do you have good friends? Do you complain about the Chinese Communist Party? Are you a good Chinese citizen? All of these things get compiled in the score. And you have cameras all over the country. By 2022, they're supposed to have 1 camera for every 2 people in the country that are powered by artificial intelligence to do facial recognition. They have e-commerce, so WeChat. 800 million people a day are on WeChat, and they never get off. They do everything. They buy products, they travel. All of that data gets sucked up and essentially utilized in much the same way that Amazon and Google and Facebook use data to encourage you to either click on links or buy products. So all of that technology that we built to really make shopping convenient or to bring people together, they've used that technology to create an automated social control that scores everybody and essentially makes sure that if you're an outlier in society, if you're somebody that doesn't conform to the rules, or you have a different idea about the way things should go, then they can suppress you. You can't get a job. You can't, your kids can't go to school. You can't get on an airplane. Your products are more expensive. And what they seek to do is essentially export this model by dominating the next evolution of technology, and that is the 5G network.
So the idea is that China, through the Belt and Road Initiative and through other initiatives where they have economic influence, they want to use it to export that control, not just for China, but around the world.